Here with Covington football coach Greg Salter and coach entering year 7, right?
7. Yep.
Year 7. Wow. Um, just talk a little bit about the excitement level and getting things going again.
Well, I think after last year, and the way we finished up, those last few games, we certainly didn't play our best ball and and lost a few tight ones. That I think everybody's just eager, if not just for that reason, to get started and get back on the field and and right the ship, so to speak. But that on top of the fact that we return, I think 16 starters.
Yeah.
Has some really good players in there. So there's a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. The kids. We were really young, really inexperienced last year, and we're really lacking that leadership. And that and that leadership, it leads to enthusiasm and things like that. So just the whole vibe around here with that experience and those kids all back, and then that confidence that they have now in their ability and their expectations. We're all excited.
And you look at some of the players you have come back. There's one in particular that's creating a little buzz. Playing both sides of the football, and just talk a little bit about
as far as off-season go, Edgerrin certainly blew up, and rightfully so. He's physically, he's just so gifted. Physically, he's right at 6'3". He's up to about 210 right now. Monster in the weight room. Does those things off the field that really, you can see why he's such a great player on Friday nights. And he had an outstanding year last year. But he's one of many that we're really excited that are coming back. We say everything with them starts up front with that linebacker core to be able to do what they can do and to be able to run and flow to the football. And I think that's one of the things we're most excited about is that defensive line that we're going to have in there.
Right.
We returned 3 out of the 4 in the secondary. So defensively, I expect to be really strong defensively.
And that's what I was next. Usually, I start with offense. With your team, I'm definitely going to start with defense because you talk about the kids coming back in the secondary, but really your front 8 are just.
Correct. Yeah, and all those guys have experience. Up front, we get 2 out of 4 start.
Yeah, right.
True guys that started every game in Kobe Amos and Trent Rainey. But Alex Sharp is a kid that got injured. He started as a freshman as a fullback for us, and was playing some fullback and was spot playing it in last year before week 2 when he had a horrible injury to his knee and had a couple surgeries later, and he's back to where he's he'll get cleared full go. And then Trevor Rainey is another guy that's going to move over the D-line who started every game last year for us at offensive tackle. So while he wasn't a true starter there at that position, he's got the varsity experience and he knows the speed of those games on Friday night, and he's going to be somebody that's going to help us out a lot. So them and then linebacker wise, all of those guys, got playing time.
On the offensive side of the football, Coach, I think you have 3 of 5 linemen.
3 of 5 linemen back. Trace Bland started every game for us last year, and then the other 4 guys all started games throughout the year. Okay. Each one of them. Matthew Taylor started a game or 2. Peyton Mayo started probably half the games, and then Remy Bork started 9 games before he got hurt. He was our starting center. And when he went out, Zach Bushnell was just coming off of an injury, and he started those last couple games and did really well. So all of those guys are reliable and got plenty of playing time last year. So, I think that group's going to be much improved.
Your receiving core, very experienced receiving core.
Yeah.
Coach, we'll talk about who's going to get on the ball in
right.
a minute. But just talk about those kids coming back. They've been around here. You got a couple guys who have started for a couple years.
Well, yeah, we have one. Well, we'll start off with the outside guys. Kobe Callahan and Reggie Gauze both came out to us from the basketball team last year. So they started every game for us last year, but they were so green, so raw. Just their understanding of the game, what was expected of them, route running. They had the physical tools to be, to make plays, and they made plays just sheer out of physical ability, not really knowing the game of football. And we're just so much further along with those two, just their knowledge and just them knowing what's going on around them. I think a big key to our offense this year is going to be that full-time move with Chandler Washington coming over from safety and playing that slot receiver for us. Chandler, if there's a faster guy around, I don't know where he's at. I mean, he was a 10-500 guy. He's a legit 4.4 on the laser. I mean, he can fly. And he was a kid that he ran 4 or 5 kickoffs back for touchdowns for us last year. He's dangerous with the ball in his hands.
And both running backs that you have listed as starters both played back there. Edgerrin, again, played both ways.
Correct.
Just talk about your backfield a little
bit. Yeah, Edgerrin will certainly get some spot play. And he's he's as good as any running back in the area probably, and we'd certainly, as much as he can handle.
You don't want to get
it'll be, whatever he can handle, and I'm sure he'd like those 25 carries a game. But we're really excited. Cade Rogers too is a kid that he lettered as a freshman on that that quarterfinal team we had. He was playing on special teams and stuff like that. Just gritty, hard nosed, one of those throwback players. Got really good speed, really good instincts. He's tough as nails.
Save quarterback for last. I know it's you got one kid I know that has some experience and has a lot of athletic ability. I don't know a lot about the other kids. So talk about
both of our quarterbacks last year. We have a senior, that's Jai Franklin.
Yeah.
Jai is he's really gifted kid. He's 6 foot. He's 180 pounds. Really athletic with the ball in his hands. Got a big, strong arm, but he's another one of those kids. Last year was his first year ever playing quarterback, so he's one of those kids that still continue to learn the game, and he's one of those guys. He gets better and better every day.
Yeah.
Blake Sharp is a kid that played a good bit last year as well. Now Blake is 5'10". He's 185 pounds. He looks like he could be playing linebacker, but he's one of those guys. He knows his role. He knows his job. What his job is to put the ball in the playmaker's hands. That's all we need him to do. You get the ball to those guys, and we're going to be successful offensively. Right now, going through the offseason and everything, Blake Sharp is a little bit ahead of Jai right now. Again, it's more of the the understanding of the offense and what we need him to do and stuff like that. But I certainly wouldn't surprise me one bit. If Jai ends up emerging throughout the year as that guy, as he gets more comfortable and gets more confident in his ability. But right now, Blake's the starter, Jai's the backup.
It's going to be an interesting district year in district. We normally talk about wide open, the district being wide open, but a lot of times when we say that, we don't necessarily mean the 1 or 2 spots.
Yeah, I think it means top to bottom. That any team. Traditionally in this district, any team on any given night can beat you.
Right.
There's that relationship that we have with each school. It's a close knit community, not just within Cut, but in St. Tammany Parish, and with Hammond and Ponche down the road. So those games can go either way on any given night. But I think this year, like you said, as far as that top team, there's a lot of really good teams. And I don't see, you had the years with, whether it was St. Paul where you knew, that, there was one year where it was, okay, kind of everybody is, you have to play great and they have to play bad. The Christian Campbell year with Ponche, with us a couple of years ago, I think, everybody knew, that year it was going to go through Covington. And last year with Slidell having the most return, everybody expected Slidell to be, the team to beat last year. And this year, I think there's just a lot of teams to beat.
Whenever you have a team like this that you have a lot of experience, and it seems like it's been every other year for you guys.
It has. It has. It's been. We haven't. We've got some really good players in our younger classes. That's kind of how our classes have come in. We've had a real strong team, and then the next year we'd have a team with 5 or 6 really good players, but lack that depth. I think that's kept us as consistent as we would like to be. Now, last year, other than you throw that out, and every year we're in the playoffs, and we're with with a chance to win every single playoff game we've been in has been down pretty much down to the wire. So we take a lot of pride in that, and sometimes it just takes a little longer to get them there.
Yeah.
And I think that's those every other year. It takes the season to get that experience and get the feet under them, and then we're playing really well at the end of the year every year. Last year, unfortunately, was the first time that didn't come to light. Sure. With the returners coming back, the expectations are high, and then and coming off last year, these guys are hungry, to win football games. They're hungry to be successful, and and I don't see any reason why we can't. If these guys play to their capability and we can coach them up and get them to reach their full potential, it's going to be a fun year to be a Covington Lion.